That's perfect. That's just what we wanted there. Welcome back, friends, to a beautiful day on the homestead. Finally, the day has arrived where we're going to be building the clamping and dog system for the outdoor bench. Now, this poses a very different set of problems that's easily solved with a carpenter's vise, right? But we can't have a carpenter's vise outside. It won't last. It'll just rust and go to pieces, right? So we need to figure out a way with very few pieces that we can put in a toolbox where we can bolt down, not bolt down, but we can fasten and clamp any possible thing that we could want to work on with minimal effort. And that's going to be using a holdfast and our old school dowel and dog system. When you're putting together your woodworking bench, it's easy to think about what can I put on the top? What's the top? How's that going to work for me? But your wood bench needs to be able, you need to be able to work on all three sides, because the problem, or the thing that we're going to need to do in the next project, is we're going to need to hold various sizes of 1x boards and such, 2x4s, that sort of thing, on edge in a way where we can, free of the top, we can plane them or do whatever work we need to do. So here's what I'm thinking. Now, this is a holdfast. This was one of my subscribers, bless him, who's a proper blacksmith, unlike me, who attempted this a couple times and didn't get the angle right. Built me these two holdfasts, and what they are is they're an old school way where you drill a 1-inch hole and you put it in there, and just by tapping on the top of this, it holds your material fast. It's very clever. I'll show you here in a minute. So this is kind of what we're working with. So obviously we could put this up here and drill a hole right there and have that holdfast, but we won't need something to support the bottom that we can sit stuff on, so we don't have to worry about it slipping on us when we put downward pressure on it. I was just thinking, I really should lay this whole thing out before I drill another hole. But us professional homeowners, we don't do our homework. We doggedly push ahead. Hope is our plan. Oh, I lost my screw there. I am not digging this bit. It completely fills up with sap and resin. Here's our second hole. Oh, we are building this airplane as we fly it, aren't we? Oh, that screw is completely gummed. This bit must be designed for some hateful East Coast hardwood. I'm gonna get a different bit. This isn't working for me. Time to stop messing around with that silly Forstner bit. Take a load of these guys. These are vintage 1950s. Now that's a proper drill bit right there, or auger bit. And Milwaukee, look at the screw on that one. Look how coarse it is. That's not gonna give us as much problems, I'm sure. Goodness. When you come across these old tools, that happens time and time again, and you experience the quality, where this was made at a time where it was made to be the best it could possibly be, with the best steel, the best design, as good as could be, right? It's amazing how many things that we're still running on that were built in the 50s and 60s that can't be reproduced of any quality where it would last, more than 6-7 years. It just breaks my heart sometimes. It's silly to be surprised about it, I guess. When people when a society as a whole doesn't have standards for itself or its own personal conduct, all of that bleeds into the thing that society builds as well. Cat-like reflexes. I want to make 3 bench pegs, and we'll make them all out of this leftover piece from the leg of the little piece of ponderosa here. So, wee bit tight. Whoa! Guess that wasn't quite clamped down. These guys are a little bit tight, and we need to chamfer the ends. The wood's going to shrink or dry, and everything's going to loosen up a little bit. But this is kind of just a disposable piece that can be remade. Simple enough. I want the fit to be snug, but not difficult to get out, so that feels pretty good. We'll just put scallops on the end here. These scallops will do a couple different things. They're quite decorative, they look nice, and they protect those edges from breaking off and splintering. I'm going to scallop the inside too, so it just lines up a little bit better, a little less friction. That's perfect. That's just what we wanted there. We'll do the same thing here. Let's see how this one. Yeah, those feel good. So now we have multiple options here. We've got the 5 holes. So let's say, for example, we want to hold a small board, like the end of a toolbox or something. Imagine this is a board here. Now they can sit on here, and we can put downward pressure on there, so it's not going to, we're not going to push through or hold fast. Now we have the ability to hold something very long. Now we have to figure out how we're going to do our hold fast. Boy, splinters is my new reality. So these are our hold fasts. I was thinking initially that we were going to put those up on top, but that wouldn't make any sense. We can't access them. So it seems to me that the hold fast holes need to go down here, basically in line with the 1.5 inch holes. Now these are going to be 1-inch holes. So if we did 1, 2 here, and then a couple right there, let's try that out. Then because we got 2 hold fasts, and we could grab it from both ends, smack it, and be done. What do you think of that? That's all there is to it. There's our clamping system for the side. You can clamp small board, big board, thick, thin, doesn't make any difference. And now we've got a really strong base where we can do hand planing along the full length, detail work, whatever we need to do with relatively a few tools, right? We can take our holdfasts out. And if we wanted to shorten it up or do something shorter, obviously we pull this. Just giving you an idea here, but just the versatility of it. And now, imagine we had a short piece. We can change this here. Then we can add holes if, oh, that one didn't stick. Add holes if need be. And we can pretty much hold anything with this. Let me down there. I'll hit it a little bit harder, I think. Yeah, there we go. Manly Manners is something we used to do. Goodness, how long has it been since we've done a Manly Manners? Has it been a couple years? A little book called Don'ts for Husbands, written in 1913. Now, I was all about the Manly Manners for a while, until we started getting some bad advice. And then I learned that it was written by a woman. Well, I'm not super keen on receiving instruction from a woman, but we will marshal on and give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she has some wisdom to impart here. And when I can find a Manly Manners that was written by a man, rest assured I'll have that in my pocket next time. But until then, we'll go with it. Okay, so we're going to just choose one thing out of here. And for good or for bad, I'm going to comment on it. On jealousy. Manly Manners tells us, don't be continually telling your wife that what a charming woman Mrs. Jones is, or how lucky Brown is in having a wife who can cook such dainty dishes. You can't expect her to relish having the good qualities of these other wives rammed down her throat. So what she's telling us here is don't be comparing another woman to your wife. Now, I would say if all things are going well, I would say that would be good advice. If your wife is taking care of business and running the home properly and looking after the domestic economics and keeping you fed and fat and happy, then I would agree with Manly Manners that just because someone else has a better lasagna recipe, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be bringing that up and making your wife feel bad. However, if your wife is not living up to her duties as a wife and a mother, maybe a little bit of that might go a long ways into spurring her into action, or so she can up her game a little bit. Maybe she's let things slack, maybe her appearance, maybe her cooking, maybe she's not doing the things that she once did for her husband, and dropping some notes may have, but that's a double-edged sword there, isn't it? You may not be happy with the outcome of that, but I don't know. I think I probably would avoid that, to be honest with you. If it came to that, it's not probably not the best way to go, to be comparing her to someone else that may be doing something better. Lord knows she could do the same to us, right? And we all don't want that to happen. I think what would be better would just to be very honest about it and say, you know what, honey, that lasagna that you made, I didn't really care for that, and that's why. Maybe we could do this different. So I'm not saying you need to get in there and cook your own food. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that just lay it out. And if you take care of business and if you have a good, strong relationship and a good traditional woman, she's not typically going to take offense to that. Her feelings may be hurt a little bit, but women's feelings are always hurt. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Just be honest and forthright, and don't simmer and stew on things if something's bothering you, or you're starting to resent a particular thing, and this goes for both husband and wife. Don't go to sleep on it. That's one rule that Mrs. W and I have, is that we don't go to bed angry. If there's a problem or there's a disagreement, That's hammered out. I don't care if it takes all night, but no one goes to bed in the anger or with aggravation or pain on your heart. Yeah, that way you put it to bed and you deal with it. You kiss and make up, and you wake up in the morning with a fresh start. That's my own personal manly manner advice there. So, all right, let me know in the comments if you'd like to continue on with the manly manners, and I'll take a look at those. I might even run a poll, so jump over there and vote on that, and we'll see how it goes. So if you guys, the community, you'd like to see a continuation of manly manners, then we can drop those in at the end of videos from time to time. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. We pray for you constantly, and we'll see you on the next video.